What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Saturday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium. What a day it was yesterday. Not in a good way. 0-3. I had some personal plays. Those didn't hit. I had a nice plus 255 parlay with the Phoenix Suns, DeMar DeRozan's assists, and DeAndre Ayton to get one block. Of course, he was in foul trouble. It seems every time I do a same-game parlay, there's foul trouble. Boston Celtics, one of our main bets. We had a 3-team plus 160 parlay. The Kings win, the Suns win. Celtics were up 28 points in the second quarter, and they lost by 10 to the Brooklyn Nets. It was one of those days. We had the Vegas Golden Knights on the money line in the first period. A tie was a push. New Jersey scored with 30 seconds left to go up 2-1, so we lost that. And we had Carolina and Phoenix to go under 6, and they scored 7. So an 0-3 day on an extremely unlucky day. We did have the Atlanta Hawks to cover against Portland on a personal play, but 0-3 day, down 3 units, and there's a reason that I say at the end, fade or follow. Now's probably a good time to fade my bets. Not doing so well the last couple of weeks. I'll get comments on the TikTok, 1-2, 0-3. It's like, yeah, I know it's 0-3. And I'm not guaranteeing that all my picks are going to win. I'm just telling you what the bets that I'm making are and the research that I've done as to why I'm making those bets. The idea is that you take that information and you either bet on it or you bet against it. That is the idea. So I have 3 more bets today, of course. We still have Rory McIlroy from Thursday to finish in the top 10. He's 2 shots back of the top 10 currently, so that's pretty good. That's a plus 120. We've got 3 bets today, a UFC bet, an MLS bet, an NBA bet. Tomorrow we've got F1. It's just it's I used to think fall was the best time of the year with October baseball and NFL. March and April are the most fun with March Madness. You've got baseball starting. You've got playoffs coming for NHL and NBA. You've got F1. You've got golf. You've got MLS. So as I dive into those other things, it's more fun. But like I said, if you plan to fade, now might be a good day after an 0-3 day, or maybe we rebound. Let's see. We're going to start in the UFC. Massive event tonight. It's UFC 285. The main event is the return of Jon Jones taking on Ciryl Gane in the heavyweight division. Okay, as you can see, I'm taking Ciryl Gane to win this fight without going to the cards. If it goes to the cards, whether it's Jon Jones or whether it's Ciryl Gane, it wipes out the bet. This is at FanDuel. It's plus 140. So if it goes to the cards, it's a draw. I'll take that. It's not a loss. It's a push. So we need Ciryl Gane to win this fight before it gets to the cards, whether it's by a knockout or by a submission. I think he can do it. Jon Jones hasn't fought a fight in 3 years. Hasn't fought a meaningful fight in 3 years. It's the first time he's moved up to the heavyweight division. Can he hang at this weight? I don't think so. I don't know. If you saw the weigh-ins yesterday, he looked big. He looked just big. He looked a little bit out of shape. The last time Jon Jones fought was in February of 2020, so it has been 3 years when he defeated Dominic Reyes. Can he still perform at that level with that agility, with that striking, now that he's 35 years old and he's moved up to the heavyweight division? Ciryl Gane is coming off a 3rd-round knockout of Tuivasa, which earned him Fight of the Night. That was last September. That's coming off his first defeat when he lost on the points to Francis Ngannou. He's 32. He's a physical specimen. He's fast. He's big. He's an elite striker who has also excelled in kickboxing before he got here to the UFC. And I just think that Ciryl Gane has the advantage over Jon Jones, who hasn't fought in a long time. I feel like this is one of those fights where Jon Jones is going to come in with a ton of hype. He's going to try to knock out Ciryl Gane quickly. I don't think Jon Jones wants to go 5 rounds. I don't think he wants to go to a decision, especially fighting at this weight for the first time. So I think he's going to be taking some chances. I think he wants something big. He wants the highlight reel knockout. He wants a big submission, which is going to leave him vulnerable for Ciryl Gane to do the same thing. Gane's a better wrestler. Jon Jones hasn't fought in 37 months. If Gane can keep this fight standing up, he should be able to outstrike Jon Bones Jones, and I think he can handle the flurry from Jones himself. So we're going to take Ciryl Gane plus 140 to win this fight before it gets to the cards. If it gets to the cards, then we get our bet back. So really no harm, no foul. As long as Jon Jones doesn't knock out or submit Ciryl Gane, worst case scenario is a push. Best case scenario is we win. I will have more to talk about, another bet on this on my Twitter to come later today. Shifting to the MLS now, we're going to look at Toronto FC versus Atlanta United FC. Listen, last week we hit the over in the TFC game. TFC was winning that game 2-1 in the dying minutes. They gave up a goal that tied it to DC. Then DC scored in the last minute of stoppage time, which was brutal. Today I've got a little bit different of a bet. I've got a same game parlay. Atlanta is heavily favored going into this one. If you look at Atlanta FC, they are ranked first in shots per game. They're ranked fifth in goals, third in passes, seventh in crosses. They've played very well in the first game. Toronto FC should have won that game, but they didn't. Haven't looked quite as good, right? Toronto FC did enough last week. They should have won, but they didn't. They have just an implosion of a defense. Last season, these two teams played twice, each at home. Both teams won at home. Atlanta won 4-2 in Atlanta. Toronto won 2-1 at BMO. Both of them play questionable defense, I think, at best. They've allowed 54 and 66 goals, respectively, last season. But they do have the striking talent. Now, whether Insigne plays or not, we're not sure. He's questionable. But I think, regardless of that, Atlanta does have their new striker. I'm going to butcher this name, Giacomakis. He's going to make his debut this week. I think each team scores in this. I think you're looking at the very least a 1-1 draw, if not 2-1, 2-2, 3-2 even. So our parlay is going to be for each team to score a goal. And then we've got Atlanta United to get at least 4 shots on target, and for Toronto FC to get at least 3 shots on target. This brings us to a minus 105 same game parlay. In the first week, Atlanta had 5 shots on target. We just need them to get 4 here. They had 16 shots total, 5 on target. Toronto FC had only had 6 shots last week, but 4 of them went on target. We just need them to get 3. I think this is going to be more of a run and gun game. Neither of these teams play a lot of defense. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So as long as Atlanta gets 4 or more and TFC gets 3 or more and both teams score, we're good. I mean, if both teams score, you're already looking at 1 shot on target anyway. So if we get that, it is a minus 105 parlay. I'll just say that one more time. Both teams to score. Atlanta 4+ shots on target. TFC 3+ shots on target. Our last bet of the day is in the NBA. It's the Toronto Raptors at the Washington Wizards. When you're not doing so well, you go back to what you know. So I've got 2 Toronto bets, TFC, Toronto Raptors. This is a gut bet because Toronto's not great on the road. They're 11-20. Washington's 15-13 at home. Neither of these teams are playing very well. The reason I'm betting this is 2 days ago, Washington beat Toronto 119-108 at home. It's one of these back-to-back same venue games. Is Toronto going to lose back-to-back games to the Washington Wizards? I don't think so. That is really what it comes down to. I don't think so. Jakob Poeltl played great in that game. He played 32 minutes. He was 8 of 9 for 23 points. He had 13 rebounds. Siakam struggled. He was 6 of 16, only had 13 points. He was 1 of 5 from 3. Fred VanVleet was his first game back. He was 5 of 17 and 2 of 11 from 3 for 14 points. So Siakam and VanVleet combined for 27, and they lost by 11 points. Is that going to happen again? I don't think so. Kuzma, who was 4 of 9 from 3 for 30, is that going to happen again? I'm betting that it doesn't. I'm betting on Nick Nurse and his coaching abilities to make the proper adjustments. It's another day of Fred VanVleet's going to have conditioning. He's got some more practices back under his belt after missing a handful of games. I think Gary Trent Jr. probably plays a little bit more. Go back to what you know, which is the Toronto Raptors. I don't know anything better than the Toronto Raptors. This seems like a great spot to rebound here, especially because for them to win by just 1 point, you get minus 108. You do have push potential at 1 point as well. And I like those odds at minus 108 at FanDuel. So I'm going to take the Toronto Raptors on the road to not lose back-to-back games to the disgusting Washington Wizards. I do like the pink jerseys a lot for the cherry blossoms. Shout out to that. So huge Saturday. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. Tomorrow we've got F1. So your Saturday card for today, give me Ciryl Gane to win this fight before it gets to the cards for plus 140 at FanDuel. Give me a same game parlay with Toronto FC and Atlanta United FC. Both teams to score. Atlanta to get 4 more shots. Toronto to get 3 more shots. That's minus 105 at FanDuel. And give me the Toronto Raptors by 1 point at minus 108, also at FanDuel. Feel free to drop a comment if you're fading or following. Follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connie for more picks and props throughout the day. I already have 5 other bets that I'm going to be posting later on. that I like. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and audio versions available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Big Saturday of sports. Let's enjoy it. Let's talk about sports.